We are coming to you live from Broadcasting House in Accra. Good evening and thank you for joining us on News Hour. I am Winifred Efum. With us to translate the news for our hearing impaired viewers is Mr. Robert from Pont Manson. Now, GBC News dedicated the month of June for our frontline workers who have been at the forefront of our fight against the coronavirus. And of course, with us, the media as partners, who gave them our cameras and microphones so you get to know what the sacrifices they have been given. Today is the last Saturday of the month, and we have yet another set of frontline workers, but this time from the Ghana Armed Forces, who will be deputizing for me on News Hour today. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
I am Flight Lieutenant Cynthia Doreen Ewusinti.
And I am Naval Lieutenant Phyllis Ayongo Engman.
Right. So tell us, what has been some of the challenges you faced during this pandemic?
Okay, so as the days go by, the number of cases keep on increasing, and so you are faced with the challenge of managing many patients as the days go by. And also some of the patients come in as critical cases, and they require a lot of attention and care. So your exposure time is increased, the hours you spend in the PPE is also increased. This all puts you at a risk of contracting the infections.
Do you also have anything to add? What has been your challenge?
Okay, I would also add that the emotional stress that is accompanied with having to see increasing number of people getting infected day in and day out is a little on the high side, and we'll just press on and then acknowledge our distinguished viewers to practice all the precautions and the social protocols so that they'll all be safe. Everyone should take care.
All right, so all of us will take care. Please give us the rest of the bulletin.
In our first story, the National Council meeting at the National Delegate Congress of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, has formally endorsed the ticket of President Akufo-Addo and Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the party flag bearer and running mates.
President Akufo-Addo was hopeful that the massive developments undertaken by his administration will endear the electorate to give him another mandate at the December 7, 2020 general elections. Edward Nyako reports.
The acclamation of President Akufo-Addo is in line with the party's constitution, and it comes on the heels of parliamentary primaries of the party, which took place last week. The hosting of the National Delegate Congress in Accra is a final hurdle to be cleared for the NPP to embark on a second-term mission to seek for the mandate of Ghanaians to run the country from 2021 to 2024. After the acclamation of President Akufo-Addo by the National Delegate Congress, President Akufo-Addo announced Dr. Bawumia as his running mate. The General Secretary of the NPP, Mr. John Boadi, described the ticket of the President and his vice as visionary and competent. He lauded President Akufo-Addo's exemplary leadership during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has won the hearts of a lot of people across the world.
In the period of global health crisis occasioned by the COVID-19 outbreak, which has shattered many economies and destroyed many families, everybody had clamored for leadership. Many presidents have given up the fight against the pandemic. Many governments have absolutely no clue on how to strike a reasonable balance between fighting the pandemic and also protecting the life and livelihood of our people. Then came the president of the Republic of Ghana and the leader of the New Patriotic Party, who rose to the occasion, carried the world along, and showed the way through which his award-winning inspirational words and deeds that got the world talking. Almost every world leader hailed President Akufo-Addo for the leadership he has shown in this period of global health crisis.
Former President John Ejekun Kufuor described the chemistry between President Akufo-Addo and Vice President Dr. Bawumia as one of a kind, and that explains the achievement made by them in a short period of time.
It's very difficult for political leadership to combine such vision and articulation as the two of them do. Their relationship tends to be like the well-known Catholic marriage. Marriage that lasts into decades. They come to be like family.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said decisive and competent leadership is what Ghana needs.
We want to move away from the discretion of individuals to the efficiency of systems and institutions. Economies that depend on the discretion of individuals to get things done are generally inefficient and breed corruption. This is why we have, over the last 3.5 years, started to put in place the digitization of systems and institutions that will drive our march towards the Ghana Beyond Aid. Many people have wondered why we have taken such an interest in digitization. The answer is simple. We are thinking about the future, and digitization holds the key to the future in boosting economic growth, efficiency of service delivery in the public sector, reduction in corruption, transparency, and accountability.
President Akufo-Addo said the outbreak of the COVID-19 indicates that Ghana needs to be self-reliant, and that buttresses his goal of promoting Ghana Beyond Aid since he came to office in 2017.
We do not believe in pitting the rich against the poor, or the poor against the rich. We believe in helping every Ghanaian to climb up the ladder of progress, and we have been consistent in this, not just in words, but in deeds. We are told that those who are responsible for the worst economic performance of the last 30 years have learned their mistakes and seek another opportunity to correct their mistakes. That they have learned their lessons, and seek another opportunity to correct their mistakes. Dare I ask, should the presidency be for experiments? Surely not. You, the Ghanaian people, deserve better. And you will get better on 7th December with 4 more years for Nana and the MPP to do more for you.
The president expressed regret over the breaking of the COVID-19 protocols during the party's parliamentary primaries across the country. He urged all the 42 MPs who lost their seat to take inspiration from him and assured them that the losing of their seat is not the end of their political career. Edward Nyakun, reporting for GBC News.
President Akufo-Addo says the 2020 elections is about which of the two leaders Ghanaians can trust, not corrupt, and decisive leadership, which is resolute and purposeful in its endeavors.
2020 is between the current president and the president who was voted out in the last contest. It is about leadership. It is about integrity. It is about the performances of the two men when given the opportunity by the Ghanaian people to lead. It is about measuring records against promises. It is about which of the two leaders has shown in office that he knows how to manage the economy. It is about which of the two leaders you, the voter, can trust to deliver. It is about which of the two men you can trust with the future of your children. It is about which of the two leaders you know you can depend on in times of crisis.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says the MPP government has in the last 3 years spent 21.14 billion Ghana cedis in setting up restoring nurses and teachers' allowances, and the cleaning up of the banking sector.
How can an economy that could not afford 60 million Ghana cedis on teacher training allowances be able to undertake an additional 20 billion Ghana cedis expenditure in just 3 years? This is why the NDC never believed that free SHS, which is costing us over 2 billion Ghana cedis annually, was possible immediately. We made it possible, and the difference is the competence of the economic management under the strong and decisive leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore important that we stay the course and not play chaskele with the economy.
President Akufo-Addo has formally opened the Suhum overpass in the eastern region, cautioning drivers that improved roads must not be catalyst for death and pain, but rather for national development. He therefore urged all road users to adhere to the rules and regulations to avoid carnage on the roads.
The Suhum Interchange Project is part of the 31.7 kilometers Kwafukrum Apejwa Junction project, which is one of the many projects along the Central Corridor designated as National Route 6 and 6 under the Ghana Highway Authority's functional classification of route. The Suhum dual carriage overpass consists of 2 bridges carrying a total of 4 lanes. Each of the bridge is a 10-span reinforced concrete box grader with a total length of 250 meters. Works on the project commenced in 2008 and was scheduled for completion in March 2012. The project, however, suffered a long period of suspension, but works resumed in June 2017 on the southbound carriageway, including the Suhum flyover, after negotiations with the contractor, China Water and Electric Corporation, at a cost of $20 million and 40 million Ghana cedis for the outstanding arrears. The works for the northern bound carriageway, including 8 foot bridges along the corridor, was repackaged at the cost of 49.6 million Ghana cedis and awarded to CWE for completion in April 2021. The Ghana Highway Authority has ensured the provision of adequate works to enable the flyover to be open for use. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amoakwata, was grateful to the President for releasing funds for the completion of the project. He noted that the corridor is one of the most utilized roads by all and neighboring countries. He called on the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service to undertake speed checks regularly on the road to ensure compliance to speed limits.
The repackaged work commenced in January 2019 at a cost of 49.6 million Ghana cedis and 64.2 million United States dollars per the contractor's revised program, and the project is expected to be completed by April 2021. I would like to appeal to the Motor Transport and Traffic Department of the Ghana Police Service to undertake speed checks regularly on this highway to ensure compliance to the design speed limits.
The project manager of China Water and Electric Corporation, CWE, Mr. Sun Hee, also thanked the government for the regular support and promised to do their best in executing all their projects in the country. President Akufo-Addo, while pledging his government resolve to provide quality infrastructure in the country, urged all road users to be cautious on the road.
I urge motorists to be extra careful on our highways and also resist the temptation of overspeeding on good road sections. Improved roads should be a catalyst for national development, not instruments of death and pain.
An office complex has been completed and handed over to the Bolgatanga Municipal Divisional Police Command in the Upper East Region. The Upper East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Ampofuduku, called for concerted efforts by government and non-governmental organizations to help create more divisional command offices to increase police visibility in the region.
The Bolgatanga Municipal Divisional Police Command has been on the drawing board for quite some time. The Upper East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Ampofuduku, said the creation of divisions in the region will strengthen the efforts of the police in the administration of justice in the region.
It has not been easy creating a division. There is the need for concerted efforts by both governments and non-governmental institutions to create more of such divisions that go a long way to complement the effort of the region in the smooth administration of justice.
In an interview with GBC News, the Municipal Divisional Commander, Chief Superintendent Dela Jansi, said the region has a wide area of control which become very difficult for regional commanders to have full control. While appealing for vehicles and other logistics to aid in their smooth operations, he called on the people of the Bolgatanga municipality to support them in their line of duty.
The region has a vast area of control, and then it becomes very difficult for the regional commanders to take absolute control over. So it is in line with that divisions are created who serve directly under the regional commands. So it's just a coordinated unit, which is the division. The message to the people of Bolga is that we want everybody to be part of the police, because sometimes.
The Municipal Chief Executive, Joseph Amiyure, reiterated government's commitment to resourcing the police service to effectively deliver on their mandate.
The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, has assured the chiefs and people of the region of his commitment to peace and stability in the run-up to the December polls. At a media briefing in Ho, Mr. Lecha urged the people to have confidence in the government to provide adequate security to safeguard their peace and stability in the region.
When it comes to the Volta region, there is nothing showing that we are at war with anybody. Volta region is part of Ghana. Ghana can never be at war with itself. So the fact that somebody says that the declaration of war against the people of the Volta region must be treated with the contempt that it deserves. I would like to assure all the people in the region that we are at peace with everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from. We are hosting a lot of people who don't come from the Volta region, and the rest of the country is also hosting a lot of people who come from the Volta region. We have our citizens from Volta region working in all parts of the country, all tertiary institutions. You find our people there, all state organizations, you find our people there. So we are very much part and parcel of the Republic of Ghana. Therefore, for anybody to make comments, those divisive and ethnocentric comments is rather unfortunate, but I have to let all the people in the region be rest assured, the chiefs and people, that you must all be assured that your security is assured.
The Upper West Regional House of Chiefs is urging all traditional rulers in the region to join the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at a general meeting of the House in Wa, the President, Koro Richard Babini Kanto, urged the leaders to educate the people on the need to observe all the safety protocols to curb the spreading virus. Swala Abdul Wahab reports.
The President of the House, Koro Richard Babini Kanto's address focused on the coronavirus pandemic, the National Identification Authorities (MOPAP), and the upcoming registration exercise by the Electoral Commission. Koro Kanton, who is also the Paramount Chief of Tumu, urged the NIA to ensure that all applicants of the Ghana card who have already gone through the registration process are issued with their cards.
The fight against COVID-19 pandemic is a joint responsibility. The government cannot do it alone. We as leaders of our respective traditional areas need to support the efforts of government to educate our people to follow all the protocols to enable Ghana to succeed in the fight against the coronavirus.
Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz Bin Saleh commended the House for stemming chieftaincy disputes in the region.
I suggest that the House comes out with codification of rules governing the succession to skins in the respective traditional areas so as to reduce the spate of chieftaincy disputes arising out of the passing on of chiefs.
The board members of the Northern Development Authority, NDA, led by its chairman, Dr. Hakim Wema, briefed the House on its mandate and activities in the region. Dr. Al-Hassan Suleimana Namzoya is the CEO of the authority.
In the Upper West region alone, NDA is executing 101 IPEP projects as we speak today. And these projects categorize health, education, feeder roads, water and sanitation, small dams and dugouts, rural electrification projects, ambulances, skills development and training centers and markets.
2 new members of the House were sworn in. They are the Pulumakoro and Singna.
The Action Plus Foundation Ghana has presented PPE and other health products to some selected public and private senior high schools in the Greater Accra, Eastern and Volta region to help the operations of the school as students return to complete their academic work.
Action Plus Foundation, a global health advocacy group, has presented Veronica buckets, hand sanitizers, nose masks, hand gloves, tissue papers, liquid soap, face shield, among other protective equipment to the selected schools. The beneficiary schools in the Greater Accra region included the Armed Forces Senior High Technical School in Burma Camp, Ideal College and Tema Technical Institute, both in Tema. In the Eastern region, Boso Secondary Technical and Enum Presbyterian Senior High School were the beneficiaries, while Tongo Secondary Technical School received the items for the Volta region. Crossover International School, also in Germany, also in the Volta region, received the PPEs on behalf of basic schools in the region. The beneficiary schools were grateful to Action Plus Foundation for the donation. According to the Public Relations Manager of Action Plus Foundation, Madame Grace Afihajo, the donation is to augment the efforts of government in the fight against the spreading coronavirus.
The 2020 Homawa Festival of the Chiefs and People of Gadangbe has been launched at the GBC studios in Accra. With the virtual launch of the festival at the Obodun studio, the celebration by the various clans is set to begin in July.
Among the Ga people who live along the coast of Ghana and accounts for about 10% of the country's population, Homawa is a combination of homecoming, harvest festival, and New Year's celebration. The word Homawa means hooting in the sense of jeering or making fun of hunger. And the festival traces its origin to a legendary famine that occurred hundreds of years ago. The people's prayers were finally answered with a record rainfall and an abundant harvest, for which the Ga hooted not only for joy but to mock the hunger that had so nearly destroyed them. The festival starts in the month of May with the planting of crops, mainly maize and yam, before the rainy season starts. Since ancient times, people have honored the changing of the seasons. The entire Homawa season lasts a few months, beginning with the opening of the fishing season and the planting of the millet crop in May and ending with the harvest in late September. Traditionally, a month-long ban on drumming, music and other loud noise is imposed sometime in June before the celebrations associated with Homawa begins. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and its restrictions on public gatherings, the 2020 festival was launched at the Obonu studios. With official launch, the celebrations are set to begin in the various communities of the Gadangbe people. The festival was also characterized by a rich cultural display of drumming and the singing of traditional songs to which the celebrants gracefully danced to.
Are still watching News Hour on GBC News. The news is also live on GTV, Obunu News, and we are also streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Time now for business. I am Major Linus Sanwe. When you wear sandals or slippers, your feet will be able to breathe and feel some fresh air as you walk around town. Some say sandals provide comfort and support all day long in hot weather, and your toes won't be cramped up inside a stuffy pair of shoes, especially in Ghana. And in this report, we put a spotlight on Nabil Mohammed Adenchira, who has switched from illegal mining or galamsey into sandals making business.
It's one of the fast and emerging business opportunities in Africa. It is not just the size of Africa's market that is attractive to the footwear industry. Africa is also richly endowed with the raw materials, impressive talent, and affordable labor that gives it the edge to build a multi-billion-dollar footwear industry. Countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria are leading the footwear revolution on the continent. This is because everyone needs a footwear. We don't just buy them to safeguard our feet, but also to express our style and fashion sense. And in Ghana, unique sandals that cater for a variety of fashion tastes are in vogue, that's drawing a lot of young men into the business. Nabil Mohammed, who completed senior high school in Kumasi in 2007 at Sakafia Islamic School, is one of them.
Jumano, Monsieur or my brother go Kumasi. I say my shoulder is as an apprentice and will be a senior Jumano. I say, oh, Jumana, my own school, no, my better than in Shane Bonkomo. And I'm share the way I'll see you. If you find some match on 2 weeks, na me de hu e nti free no de me call market de be ton niema na me hu nti me wona me pon school a na me ama kwaton niema bet na me yene kakra akra.
Kumasi is a growing city of over 2 million people, a major transportation and commercial hub in Ghana, but Nabil decided to relocate to his roots at Dunkonofin to start the sandals and slippers business.
Obe papa ya wono ha nti no me betena ha ko school ewie GHS ansa na me ko Kumasi. Timmy and Jumano, even though na a call Kumasi sing her, but now a mom you Kumas no more Dawson. And I mean, you are saying now, minim environment in Juno. Let me move about Hasi.
But life was not all that rosy. When he settled at his hometown, was compelled to venture into illegal mining or galamsey from 2011 to 2016. The aim was to mobilize funds to start his business.
Ejumana shase no enye easy na se na mekan se wo kuma simple dia nyoma mrema because se unhia ade a owura market na wakoto but se oba ahase na unhia ade a jesa wa faka akokuma se akoto untumi mfaka o sum free ankonkoto ade keto ama o se scan ekuto mu yedu at that time so na minister capital nti na o se me de me hu ura galamsey na me kokakra nti no na nkose me ye galamsey forever because I copy capital kakra na me adu so me koy me nya dem de be container me ye container ni we ya me nya kakra me de be me juma no.
Football is a passion of this young man, but got injured whilst playing. Unfortunately, it led to the amputation of one of his legs. However, this did not deter Nabil from pursuing his dream of becoming self-employed. With the drive to turn adversities into opportunities, Nabil could have used the loss of his leg as an excuse to end up on the street to ask for alms, and now boasts of 3 shoemaking shops at Dunkonofin. On a daily basis, about 40 sandals are produced by Nabil and his team. With 40 or 50 cedis, one can lay hands on any of the products of Nabil. From 2017, 7 young men have passed through his hands and have started their own businesses. At the moment, 70 young boys and a girl are currently understudying him. Martha Ades, a Form 1 student of Boampunsem SHS at Dunkonofin, Martha said the apprenticeship is not affecting education. Though she has been on the job for less than a year, Martha can now make sandals and slippers. But Martha's determination to learn this trade has come with a lot of challenges, with some of her colleagues in school making fun of her because shoemaking, according to them, is a preserve of men. What does Martha want to do when she completes senior high school? Abiu described Martha as unwavering and much-focused person. One can find Abiu's shoes along the rail lines at Dunka on a fin. His dream is to acquire his own property and establish a school and a hostel where he would train and accommodate the youth in the community. He was hopeful that the acquisition of skills by the youth will help in turning them away from galamsey, so as to give breathing space to the environment.
Illegal mining education so. Short time na onyeska. Well, sole proprietorship so you may be a idea okumu anya no cost 10 years, 15 years. Maybe you may say na catch on be 6 months to 1 year. No we hu adwuma.
According to him, shoemaking is a lucrative venture because on average it makes a turnover of 15,000 cedis per month. He appealed to government to set up a shoe factory at Tunkonafin under the One District One Factory program to boost the local economy and stop rural urban migration.
Ama ya ejuma na ya training nkofo mepepa because nyese ebebo me nko apesi ebebo me omo besua and ebebo community no and we know as a whole and metume kasa ebebo country na nkasa.
The 38-year-old Nabil Mohammed described sandals and slippers as appropriate for warmer climates, especially in Africa, because they keep the feet cool, dry, and the risk of developing athlete's feet is lower than with enclosed shoes, and that is why he opted to invest his time and resources in making them.
The Accra Hearts of Oak Academy project is set to start from next week. An official handing over ceremony of site documents to local contractors KA Estate Limited has taken place. The CEO of KA Estate, Mr. Stephen Ajay, promised to finish in a record 3 months.
On Friday, 26th June 2020, some Accra Hearts of Oak supporters, traditional leaders of Pobiman, and some officials led by the CEO, Mr. Frederick Moore, visited the Pobiman site. It was to officially present documents to the construction firm KA Estates Limited. The CEO of the company, Mr. Stephen Kofi, received the document for the work to start on the much-awaited Pobiman Academy project.
The official handover of the site to the contractor. You remember a few months ago, or some time ago, we came here to do the sword cutting. We are now at the stage where we've got the local contractor who will be starting work hopefully shortly. The academy is going to be the pinnacle of hopefully a long-term success. Those of you who listen to the chairman and the big dreams that we've got, the dreams are starting from here, and we want to make it a reality.
The chief executive officer of the construction company promised not to disappoint.
Accra Software is a big team, and I'm grateful to be the contractor for the project. I feel so excited. Work starts next week, and I believe I'm going to deliver within the time frame, which is the 3 months.
The Hearts of Oak project is in 2 phases. When complete, the ultra-modern facilities will house the senior, junior, and coach teams of the club.
Their friend and colleague farewell. Stars like Vivian Jill, Christina Wuni, Kweku Menu, Lewen, Ellen White, Benedict Tagafa were present at the funeral. The body was later sent to his hometown, Obosmasi, in the eastern region for burial.
And before we go, a quick interaction with our frontline staff. How did it go? How was the experience like?
It was
quite an experience, and then we enjoyed it. It's only that we're little things, but we are glad we came here, and we thank GBC for the opportunity given us.
Right. Would you like to add anything? How was the experience for you?
It was fun. Actually.
Is it?
Yes, it was.
So when do I get to be in your consulting rooms to also try my hands on it?
After going through the medical training.
Right, and this is where, would you also want to add, how was the experience like?
In fact, there's too much tension.
I can see it all over your face.
Too much tension.
As time goes on,
yes,
you'll get to it. We all went through that.
Okay.
Right. And this is where we draw the curtains on this series of presentations by our Frontline staff. Thank you so much for joining us. And from the national broadcaster, we say, are you cool to your hard work and dedication? Mother Ghana says, thank you for all your sacrifices. And I'll back again at 10:30 with This Week. Thank you for watching this hour.